So we all get to just sort of live in that. Hey guys, we're back this week.
Hello.
Jesus Christ.
We've got 15 minutes of unairable material.
The best outtakes ever.
Yep.
Breathing. Deep breathing.
Jesus Christ.
You got this.
So, a couple bits of news up front. This will be my last week of streaming via this computer setup.
Hooray.
Because I got a new computer.
Yeah.
That does not mean that this will be the last time that this computer is used for streaming this, because it's just going to Craig.
Yeah, but I'm still going to use my MacBook for this, probably.
That's fair. It's got a better camera, though.
I don't know. The MacBook camera is pretty nice. It's just my place is dark.
That's fair. That's a good point. And yeah, that's it for news. So,
good shit.
Jesus Christ, Gary.
Nailed it. Nailed it. It's a Thursday. What do you want from me? I've been on the road for 2 days. I had to listen to a lot of mid-90s butt rock the other day. Like, things are bad. So, last time around, you guys originally prepared to do some combat against some bullets that had broken free of their moorings, raising and lowering the gate to Jerselheim. But as you were preparing for that, and Aramil was running his dumbass out of a field where he had jumped out to go hang out with some bushes instead of you guys, because he likes bushes more.
Like, I didn't get some quality time with bushes.
It's true. You didn't spend enough time with the bushes.
Because he honors his character.
Yes. The bullets raced past you, and off in a different direction, revealing a much larger threat was actually causing them to break free and kind of go nuts, as it is. A large purple worm.
Yeah.
You guys did battle with the worm. Nothing really tragic or crazy happened, which is the first time we've had a combat scenario like that in a while.
I didn't even stab any friends.
You didn't stab any friends. No one really even got low. Someone took a lot of damage, but I forget who.
It's always.
I'll give you 3 guesses.
It's either Sire or
Yeah. But, you guys did slay the purple worm. And upon slaying said purple worm, you realized that a crowd had gathered to watch your heroic combat. And then revered you as the comic book superheroes that you are to this community. You were all besieged by this crowd.
I believe I declared it party time.
Yeah, you did in fact declare it party time.
I lost my pipe.
Yeah.
You did lose your pipe.
So party.
Aramil, we'll have to get you another one at some point. Sai hid ineffectively, but he did attempt to hide. But you were all out the air by a set of guards, both of the Golden Forge clan and of the Slate Meal clan, of the Fieri and the Sinatra. You were all brought onto an elevator to head down towards the Emerald Bastion, with the phrase that more information will be given to you when you arrive as to why there was a purple worm here and what they're doing about a purple worm that is coming to eat the gems that make up this building that you are now going to. You guys don't like the head guard that has come to escort you, because she seems very brisk. Very brusque.
Brusque, you mean? Yes.
Brusque, thank you.
She's moving too quickly for me.
Yes.
Is she a soup?
Yes. You all have not asked her name yet. It's worth noting.
It's actually Bisque.
As you guys do. And we ended last time with Marleman turning invisible and touching her.
That is not consent. What I said.
Right, that did happen.
I mean, it is what you said.
No. For the record, you can watch the tape. I said I'm going to turn her invisible. You can look it up. You can watch the tapes. I said that.
I will find the clip and I will embed it here to show that is not what happened.
I'm going to cast invisibility and touch her.
You just said no. Your wording was I'm going to cast invisibility on her. So we didn't know if you meant.
I didn't hear the.
I'm leaving this.
I said on.
Yeah.
Out of
check the tapes. Check the tapes.
I'm going to check the tapes. As I am describing what is about to happen next, I will check the tapes. So you are all.
God, I hope I said that. Oh boy.
You're gonna look real fucking doofy if you didn't at this point.
You guys are still in the elevator down towards the Emerald Bastion in this awkward silence.
Okay.
Well, we got to resolve whatever Marleman did.
Yeah, like what did he? Is he invisible?
Yeah, I guess we have to find out what he did as well. But
Did he turn this person invisible?
I wasn't actually gonna do it, but I guess if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't. You know, to be honest, even if that wasn't what you meant, I still don't understand what the goal was.
Same.
Because she was annoying us, and I didn't want to talk to her or see her, so I was gonna make her invisible.
She wouldn't be.
Like, everyone, go quiet for a second.
Gary needs to watch the tapes. Gary needs to prove me wrong.
He actually is trying to save himself editing, and I assume wants him to bleed into the mic. So what's the deal?
I can't tell if he's nodding because he's found the right section, or if he's nodding because I have fucked up.
It was the end of the. It was the end of the last episode. It's probably.
Yeah, it was like very much the end.
Either way, I just want to make a public statement saying because everybody jumped on me so hard when I said whatever I said. That was not what I meant to say. If that's what I said,
here it comes.
Because what I was going to say, I just want to let him. Whatever.
This is so exciting when we can't hear it.
Yep.
I know.
The exact wording that Marleman used is I cast invisibility and touch her.
That is no, come on.
That is word for word what you said, my friend.
In Gary's defense, I don't think he would pause everything and then go
lie.
to an easily provable lie.
Yes. I know, I understand. But it should be known that was
it was a slip of the tongue.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
It was not what you meant.
Everybody vilified me the moment I said something wrong, and it was like, no, wait.
It just sounded bad.
And we will resolve this. So you're attempting to cast invisibility on her. She is not willing. What does she have to save with?
Just have to do a spell touch attack or whatever.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
Okay.
I believe it's a whiz save. Hold on. I don't have it. It's not in my list of cards, and I'm very upset about that.
Wow.
It's that reverb drum.
I don't know.
That's a fun Google. Can invisibility be used to hide a corpse?
Yes, it can.
No, it can't.
Oh, it can't?
No. A corpse is no longer a creature.
Oh, that's fair.
It's an object.
It's actually just, a creature you touch. Actually, there is no save, so you literally just do that.
Yep.
It's a touch spell attack when used against an unwilling target. That's what I meant by he needs to roll a spell attack roll.
Yeah.
And it needs to beat her AC, whatever that is.
I don't see that here.
Yeah, that's
just how these things work in the system. It's not a spell by spell thing.
Yeah.
If it's a touch spell on an unwilling target, then it's a to try and touch them.
Gotcha.
Okay. Go for it.
I mean, that's a you roll, my friend.
That's a me roll?
Yeah, roll.
I thought it was a roll.
And add whatever the fuck Gary tells you to.
I thought that was a resist roll. My mistake.
I mean, you add your spell attack to it.
All right. Well, I
yeah.
think this girl is gonna fucking be invisible because I rolled a fucking 17.
I don't know what her AC is. Maybe it's like 700. Shit.
And my attack bonus is 8.
All right. Well, make your roll.
What kind of roll? It's not an attack.
It's just a D20. It's an attack.
He rolled a 17 on the die. Like,
gotcha.
That's
sorry.
That's what I'm like. Wait, what?
I'm sorry, I missed that. I was checking something else.
I'm sure you were.
Which was someone else on the internet was bitching because they attempted to use plane shift in this way, and the person made their save. And they were like, "But what about the damage? There's no damage on plane shift, so this player is bad." Much in the same way. I gotta check something.
When this guy has to make this face for a stupid gag that I said I was doing as a joke, and then now it's real.
That's D&D, my friend. I have to check something. Oh, okay. No, she is in fact okay. I had to check the AC on plate mail. So yeah, she is a-okay. You go to land.
You realize that he rolled like a 26 or something. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you rolled a 17 on the die.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So
what were you doing?
I literally said I was reading other stuff.
He was looking at photographs. Like
I will say this just for future reference to everybody. If you're telling me a die roll, tell me what the thing is.
I said a 17 and my spell attack bonus is 8.
Yes, but so then you should say, hey, I rolled a 25, not a 17.
All right.
It's not my job to do your math. Regardless of all these things, she is now invisible and very unhappy with you and going to swing at you with a warhammer.
I love.
I deserve this. I deserve all of this.
Happen.
I'm gonna cast shield as a reaction.
It's okay.
It's a +5 to my AC.
You can't do that because you've already cast a spell this round.
It's a bonus action.
It's a reaction.
Yeah, you're
on
fine.
multiple
you're good.
he's okay.
Yeah,
I know you're trying to punish him, but give me a break.
Yeah, that's a 24 to hit.
That would be absolutely hitting me.
Okay. That is just a basic warhammer, which does. Math is hard.
I agree with that.
Also known as Googling what the damage on a warhammer is.
Valid.
Wasn't expecting to swing it at someone today.
I mean, she's always expecting to swing it at someone. I just didn't expect her to swing it at someone.
That is what I meant, yes.
Yes. That is a 10 damage.
Okay.
As she lays this warhammer into you, which is also an attack, so the invisibility breaks.
Cool.
So she very briefly blinked out, realized what happened, hit you with a warhammer, and is now looking at the rest of you going, can you control him, please?
Whoa.
I mean,
Whoa.
like, if I could...
Historically speaking, no.
Correct, but can we all just take it easy?
He just did unwilling magic on me. That is a violation of my rights as a person.
You're absolutely correct.
You're absolutely correct. It was in jest. I apologize. And
Smashed me with a hammer.
understand that
I
now
hope
that
he
I
learned
am.
his lesson.
Yeah.
Now that I've been bopped with a warhammer.
It was in jest because you were being, to be quite frank, a jerk.
Oh God, we're de-escalating here, Marlo.
She goes to swing at you again.
Oh, Jesus.
Please. Wait.
Just to be clear, we're in like a tight, confined space.
Yeah,
right?
like this would hit every fucking person in the room. Let's be real here.
What?
Isn't it an elevator?
It's it's an elevator. How big is this elevator?
Very big. It's like
We did have
like
a fight scene in one of these before, didn't we?
Yeah, like this thing is like 20 by 20. This thing is
okay.
huge.
All right, hit me for another 10. Go ahead.
I was going to try to stop her.
Okay, how are you going to do so?
Well, that's why I'm trying to. I was going to try and maybe do command, so I didn't know if I should do it, like, if we both roll initiative to see who goes first.
Yeah, let's do an initiative check on that.
All right.
She rolled a natural 1, so you are going to go first. So don't even bother to roll. Unless you also roll a natural 1.
All right,
Why is this person so violent?
No, I did not.
First?
Okay.
I understand
Yes,
I may
you go
be
first.
kicking this person off, but this person is extremely violent for what she is doing.
To be fair, it's not like she could readily identify the spell you were using on her.
I mean, she got turned invisible though. So.
Oh.
All right,
I mean, she's not a magic user. She doesn't know what that means.
And then, while I did explain myself, I did
Got
insult.
touched by a wizard, then turned invisible. I'm pretty sure she could figure it out.
so I'm just going to command her, stop!
Okay, she does not swing.
Okay, if you want to punch him, do it when we're not in an elevator. Okay?
You guys are causing a PR nightmare.
All right?
Oh, and we're in a like a closed elevator. I actually don't think we are.
What?
I thought we were.
Causing a PR nightmare. I thought we were in an elevator. Like,
Yeah,
not,
I mean, you're.
Listen,
yeah, we're in private.
Yeah. Okay. Enough. No more. Marlon, stop being a
what
jerk.
did Beyonce say?
Stop swinging your
Of course,
hammer.
Sometimes shit goes
Stop.
down when it's $1 billion on an elevator.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that I was the jerk, but okay.
of course sometimes.
I'm giving you like dagger eyes. I'm gonna be like, just shut up. We good? I'm
She,
looking
like-
at her like,
She like lightly nods and puts the warhammer down.
Welcome
Thank
to Brand
you.
of Blunderers, where everybody is an asshole.
thank you. I'm
She just sort of-
sorry.
She just sort of turns away, and you can see like Phaedra, you're in an angle enough on her that you can tell that she is legitimately upset, not like not like angry, but like truly upset.
Okay.
I do apologize. I make it very clear that I am
Would you
apologizing.
shut up and stand at the other end of the elevator before I dig my warhammer so deep inside your skull I get to see where the magic comes out?
See, now you're just being unreasonable.
All right.
Private
So,
lady.
Marlon, this
I'm
is-
just gonna shut up for the rest of the
You're
night. I guess.
sorry, and
Yeah.
that's good. You clearly stated that you were sorry, but sometimes people don't accept apologies right away. You said
That's
your
fine.
piece. We gotta
That's
just
fine.
back off.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The elevator slowly hits the ground. The gates kind of go down, and you can tell now that you're on the bottom floor of the facing the Emerald Bastion. The citadel kind of sits before you with its numerous layers of boiling water that kind of operate as small rivers around it, plus the lush green that kind of pops out of the ground here. The guard kind of like steps out of your way, and without making contact with any of you, just sort of gestures forward in a just go.
Yeah.
I want to just stay behind real quick.
Okay.
It's just like, I'm really sorry. Marlon can be a bit of a dick. I didn't catch your name. I will make sure no trouble happens. I'm really sorry. And I'm like sticking my hand out to like try and.
She turns to face you, but doesn't catch your eye.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of sticks a hand out and goes, "The name's Kimber. I would appreciate it if I don't run into any of you ever again."
We get that a lot. We'll try our best.
And she sort of like brusquely nods, and you can see now that like there are actual tears on her face as she like shakes your hand and turns and walks away.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have a talk with Marlon about this later. Okay.
The rest of you are just sort of walking at the bastion, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just
waiting for input from anyone else.
No, sorry, I was just writing down her name.
No. You all make your way towards the bastion, and you can see now standing outside the main doors is the assembled council. You recognize Sylvia immediately, as well as Gotenks, of course. You also notice, shoot, I'm just going to say I hate names I came up with a couple years ago because I was very clearly still fucking around. You notice Dagger Pennyworth, the head of the one of the other clans, the one that focuses on money and trade, as well as I hate you past Gary so much. Dirk Winters.
My favorite part is that you could have renamed all these people, and we would not. And
You would,
I
yeah.
doubt we
You
would have
could have
called you
just
on that.
renamed him.
I could have. I did.
Or you could have deposed them and had them be
Yeah,
replaced.
true. I could have done so many things, but it didn't.
Political unrest. Conveniently, all of the characters whose names I don't like anymore are dead.
Yeah, sorry. Who would have guessed?
Weird.
Dirk Winters, the other head, as well as Brom Ironstag himself, is
That one I
also still
remember.
staying there.
Oh, yeah.
Looking significantly frailer and older than, well, he actually looks very similar to when the last time you saw him, which was frail and older after coming out of the magic that had been kind of keeping in his brain.
Okay.
He's still wearing, regalia and robes of power, but he has very clearly become just a regular council member and no longer, the head of things. Sylvia kind of steps forward as you're all approaching, goes, "Friends, it is good to see you again."
Hello.
I'm sorry that you keep returning to our fair city in times of unrest.
We have rarely been anywhere in a time of peace.
That's fair.
Valid.
That's fair.
Yes, from what Gotenks was telling me, it seems that trouble follows you around.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, we do have some things to discuss.
Yes.
Including well, just follow me. And she kind of turns around and walks inside. Gotenks kind of looks at you guys, gives a little wink, and then walks in. The other two arbiters go to follow them. Lord Ironstag hangs back for a second, kind of looks at all of you, and kind of roughly murmurs in your direction. I hope there's been no hard feelings since the last I was.
Dude, you
not
remind
myself.
controlled. It's fine.
Which part? The racism or the evil?
Okay, that honestly, actually, that I had forgotten.
Trev holds
Honestly?
grudges.
How come nobody's throwing hammers at this dude?
I forgot. It's been a while.
He kind of looks at you dead in the eye, Trev, which is something he would not have done previously, and goes, "The fact that I was an evil motherfucker, but also the racism. That is not who I am, and I apologize."
Hey, we live and we learn. I've had to do a lot of it.
Well, can't always help what you do when you're in the
Man,
moment.
now I feel bad for being a dick.
No, you don't.
Whatever.
Do you like
Now you
actually-
know how I feel.
To
Do
be
you
fair,
actually-
he was really racist to me.
He was really racist to you.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
No, I don't remember, but I believe you.
He was not a nice person.
No, he was kind of a prick. He curtly nods and walks inside. But you can actually tell there's a bit of not a pep, but a relief to him of okay, cool. The heroes of my city don't want to see my head on a pike still. Things are okay.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah. You guys make your way inside back into the main council chambers. The last time you were there was a much different sort of scenario.
Mhm.
The arbiters all take their seats, with Sylvia now settling herself into the center of the room. You can tell just by some of the ornamentation of this room and the way that the council members are interacting with each other. While there is still some level of nobility or nobility is the wrong word, hoity-toityness
There we go.
and uptightness to certain members of the council, under Sylvia things seem much more relaxed. You can see outside the central chambers there are now a number of not pews but benches with cushioned benches that seem to be used by common folk if they're coming to bring their concerns to the council. It just seems like a much more open sort of citadel than the last time you were here, where it was very closed off and very kind of contained. As the arbiters kind of look at you, you can tell now that that one of them, Lord Winters, is uncomfortable to say the least about what you can't tell, while the rest of the council, save, are relatively relaxed. As Sylvia kind of looks at all of you and goes, "So, fill us in. How has your last almost 2 years been?"
Well, first we have member. This is Sai, and I'm being polite.
Oh,
Sai, the
people I
council,
don't know.
council, Sai.
Hi, Ash.
Who none of these people I've introduced.
Oh, wow.
She sort of nods in your direction and goes, sighing, and goes, "Any friend of the problem solvers is a friend of ours. Welcome to our fair city. I hope you find it to your liking."
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We've been kind of busy. A lot of traveling, mostly. How are things been here?
She sort of looks around and goes, honestly, save for the past few weeks, the city's been fantastic and flourishing. You know, our exports have been going well. The industry in the city is doing well. Trade is up. Unrest is at an all-time low. Everyone seemed at least very happy.
And
So-
during those weeks of trouble,
Yeah,
Well,
what happened 2 weeks ago?
I was attempting to not bury the lead.
let's cut to the chase here, guy.
Yeah. She sort of looks at Gotenks, who clears his throat a bit, and goes, "You know, we really don't want to ask you for more, but we occasionally have to." That is not how Gotenks sounds. That is not how Gotenks sounds. Gotenks is much more like that. So just watch a man have schizophrenia in front of you.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. You know, we don't want to ask more of you, but we have to. Things are unfortunate here in the city at the moment. You probably noticed the large armored beast that you killed upstairs.
No. Really?
Like,
Yeah.
Sylvia kind of like shoots him a side eye. Like, what the fuck are you saying? He's like,
this.
Well, they've been showing up more and more from the bottoms of the caves. We always knew it was a worry. You know, the further we dig down, the more things that we can possibly find. And we really weren't concerned too much about the worms. Our guards here in the city can take care of those pretty well, usually. But then we started to notice them getting bigger. Much larger than any sort of one we've seen before. The one you saw upstairs, what would be considered a full-time worm to what we originally expected, is simply an adolescent. So we sent some explorers, including my brother, down into the mines to try and figure out what's going on. And we haven't heard since.
And it's been 2 weeks since then?
3.
3 weeks.
We then sent another group down to find the first group, as it tends to go. They didn't come back. We then sent a third group down to find the second group and the first group, as it tends to go. They did come back. They didn't find anything. They didn't go nearly as deep as the other groups, because what they discovered was something we'd never seen before. Passages of blue crystal is what they described. That were glistening with some kind of energy. And then at the end of these passages, nothingness. Here. And he sort of turns and looks at Sylvia, who nods and goes, "One of the survivors is actually here. If you would allow, we can bring him in to explain what he's seen."
That would be great.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
She sort of nods at one of the guards in the back of the room, who like turns around and goes into a side chamber and comes out with a younger, probably maybe low 30s, dwarven man in running leathers. He like bows to all of you and goes, "My lords, my name is Sylvan. It is an honor to be in your presence."
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The council asked me and a few fellows to go and find out what we could. And when we got to the deepest passages, they weren't how they were left. They were ringed with this blue crystal that seemed to sing.
Okay.
Like when you hit a sword and it makes like a reverberating sound?
Exactly, yes. That is exactly what it was. Almost ear-shattering singing.
Oh.
Would you say it was reactionary?
I couldn't tell.
But as you got closer to it, it got louder. Is that that's what I mean to say?
Certainly. And as we pressed forward, by the time we got to the end of the passage, it just dropped into this chamber that shouldn't have been there. But it wasn't a chamber. It was, if you'll be so kind, it looked like the end times.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I've ever heard of anything like this?
I mean,
Sure, go ahead.
sounds like
Can you be a bit more
Yeah,
descriptive?
didn't we find that at the bottom of the ocean?
Yes, you have seen something similar.
I rolled an 18 plus 6, which would give me a 4?
Yeah. These do sound very similar to the sea sapphire that you had found at the bottom of the ocean. When
Didn't we take a bit of that?
Yeah.
I took a lot of that.
I very much would have.
I took a ton of it.
Someone, can you take out a sample? Did it look like?
I can produce a sample and ask them, "Is this what you found?"
He sort of looks at it a little bit and goes, "It's similar, yes. What we saw was smaller, more dense, but the same sort of crystalline structure, the same sort of points and hexagonal way of things."
Okay.
So we peered out into the end of this chamber and saw fire and smoke and sky, but there was no sky there. It was just more fire and dust, and we saw rivers and rivers of magma and these towering creatures made of fire and brimstone. It looked like the end of all things.
Okay.
Well, it certainly doesn't sound good.
Oh, wait, you saw this like?
Yeah,
And this
how
is in
how
the-
far were you from this?
We merely peeked our heads out of the end of the chamber. Once we all got our fill, and we were
A safe call.
beginning to discuss what to do next, one of the creatures noticed we were there and began to come toward us. We ran. It shames me to say, but we abandoned our mission and ran.
So these
You made the right decision.
these creatures, were they like a fire elemental or something?
I know not what they would look like.
You say they looked of fire and brimstone. How
Like-
large would you say this was?
The one that began to walk towards us was at least 40, 50 meters tall.
Okay, so you would categorize that as gargantuan?
Yes, that would.
Am I actually right with that statement? Like, am I
mean,
close to that statement? Okay.
Yeah, like gargantuan is kind of the catch-all for things that are bigger than huge. So
Okay, that was my point. Yeah, larger than huge.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sai, you were experimenting with the blue shards that we found.
Yes, I was.
I forget, what was the reaction to like fire and like did they need a really high temperature to be?
I remember them. They did need a good deal of work before they became usable in any sort of way. More importantly, they reacted very violently to magic. To the point where a simple spell blew me across the room and I woke up in your arms. I don't remember that. Yeah. So
Forgot about that.
So
Were any of you,
What
and
a-
I'm looking back at were any of you using magic to like try and detect where the others were? Were you carrying anything magical?
no, the only thing magical on any of us was, well, and he kind of lifts up his shirt and reveals a pendant. He goes, "It's a family heirloom. It was said that it had some sort of protection magic on it, and I've worn it ever since. But that's it.
Okay.
was that exposed to the stone at any point?
I don't believe so.
Also, what is this feller's name?
Sylvan.
Sylvan.
Like the language?
Even though he's a dwarf.
It's Sylvain, but yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Sounds close. Sylvan means
Sylvan,
up.
what's the house that he's of?
Oh, I am part of the house operata.
You're an operata. Okay.
By the way, can I do an insight check on this guy to see if he's holding anything back from us?
Sure, go ahead.
I just need to make sure. That would be a 16.
Okay, you're gonna get a private message.
Yay!
Let's see. Where's this?
Yeah, can I take a look at that necklace?
Sure.
Pendant? And I'm gonna definitely do an Arcana check just to see if I can determine what school of magic it is.
It is.
If that's a thing, I think that's a thing you do with this.
Yeah. Yes, it is. In fact,
Well, I only rolled like a 10 plus 6, so 16.
you don't. It's not fancy. It's a simple +1 amulet. A very basic protection spell on it to kind of.
It's something I have potentially seen before.
Oh, totally. It's not that these are common. It's just that
it's a basic spell.
Exactly.
Okay, understood.
So, is there anything else that you're not telling us? Anything that, even though you think it might be insignificant, please, anything you can remember.
Information anything minor.
He kind of stops and sort of roses his chin and goes, we all thought we were crazy to think this, but it looked like there was a city far away in the dust. Within the clouds. It looked like the shapes of towers and pillars and something.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need you to run back that exact statement you just said. You say the city in the clouds?
It's as in the obscured by the clouds of dust, not like in the sky.
No, I understand.
Can I quickly I have my sketch pad draw a quick rendering of the what was it, the Gith city ship thing we were in, if the architecture look like this?
Yeah. He looks at it and goes, no, that's far too angular. This seemed very
okay, not that.
Again,
I think she should have to roll to make sure it's not all stick figures.
Oh, come on!
Pager's a good artist. We've established that.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what color or what material the towers were?
I didn't. I thought I was crazy. I thought it was just dust forming shapes. I'm not even sure there was really a city there.
There was.
There probably was. You can rest easy thinking there probably was.
Yes.
This area where you were, this is supposed to be where the groups had been. This is their last known location of the direction they were heading.
It's our deepest tunnel. It's where we thought these worms were coming from. So we followed the same path that they would have, we assume. But this certainly did not end in a mine shaft.
Sylvia, did you try any magical communication with the group before sending out another group? Did you try contacting them through any sort of magical means?
We didn't. Sylvia sort of shrugs and goes, to be honest, that's not really something that we practice here in Jerselheim.
That is not a strong suit of the Jerselheimians.
No.
I just figured I'd ask.
If I remember correctly, magical things was not a forte.
No, they are a much more religious city, so it's a lot of paladins and clerics, less on the arcane.
But okay.
That's very different.
Arcane, more holy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I could try scrying on. Trunks was in the original group, right?
Yes, he was.
I could try scrying on him, see if I can get anything.
Sure.
Should I try that?
Wait, were you saying Trunks went?
Yeah, Trunks is with the first group.
What? I thought you said okay, sure. I thought he was elsewhere.
When we spoke with Gotenks in the Rusty Casket, he had said that he was off on some adventure. He
this was more. It. Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, Turks. We're gonna go see Turks, I hope.
Give me 1 second.
I gotta make my sign again.
Turks.
Okay, so can I try scrying on Trunks?
Sure, go ahead.
Then, okay, what do I need to do for this? It says the target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it.
Well, you know the target very well.
Yeah, we traveled together, so I do.
Yep. So what's the spell save DC?
On scrying, it is 17.
Okay. I don't know anymore how wise Trunks was.
Probably not wise.
He was a paladin at some point.
Yes, but he then became a barbarian.
Yes.
He tried to kick everything, so
it made sense. Yeah.
Intelligence was definitely low. Wisdom.
Damn.
What? It's like book smarts versus street smarts.
Fucking roasting him. I don't think I have Trunks' sheet anymore, so I thought I did. So I'm just gonna have to make that one up and say that he did not save.
Okay.
So what you can see is a battered, bruised, and bloodied Trunks. He has what look like rags wrapped around his hands. There are chains attached to both of his feet and his neck. And he seems to be on the ground panting. The dirt around him is reddish. And that's about all you can see.
Do I see if there's anyone else around him?
You can see shapes and shadows.
Okay.
But nothing finite. What you can see is that there must be some sort of looming person directly in front of him. Okay. You can see a very distinct shadow of that.
Okay.
That's about it.
Okay. He's alive, but it looks like he's been captured. He looks pretty beat up. I couldn't quite see the surrounding area. There was red dirt. Was the I didn't see any of the blue that the guy mentioned, right? The blue on the crystal. No blue crystal. But he is alive. I couldn't tell if there were other people because I focused on the single person.
And I will say, with the exception of being bruised, bloodied, and seemingly exhausted, he does look relatively well. He doesn't look underfed.
Okay.
He doesn't look tortured.
Okay.
Just kind of beat up.
Okay. All right. Well, he's alive, hurt, not dying, captured. Can't tell where he is.
Yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it.
Okay. I will relay that to the group.
Okay.
I'm sure he's fine.
I hope he's fine.
That's a little concerning.
I can also send a message to try and have him give me some
idea. Yeah. Can you do
specifics?
Either way, I think wherever he went is where we're going to be going.
Okay. I guess I'll try that too. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm writing this down. Give me 1 second.
If we
friends
have
what?
Yeah, if the
friends are here, where are you?
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Eat my dog.
Nah.
Something that I think you might laugh at. I don't know. Just Turks. Then it's just Turks. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you sending this message or am I?
No, I'm not. She is. I was just making a joke.
Okay.
We were just joking. I wasn't actually. No.
Okay. I didn't know if you were sending or not. I didn't know.
Heavens, I don't have me do something that's silly.
I don't. No, I don't even have that. I don't have sending.
Okay.
Lord.
All right.
Okay. Remind me. I have to say this. None of you use this for actual information, but it's just something due to a mechanic. What are the rules to sending a message outside of planes?
It says. No, that's fine. I remember that being a thingy.
It's been a thing, yeah.
I believe you can do it. Yeah.
It is
sending. You can message you.
It says there's a 5% chance of it not working. So you roll a d20, and if you roll a 1, then it doesn't work.
Motherfucker.
Did I not work?
I rolled a 1. However, I feel like you should do it because it is your
spell. That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, the failure roll, I could see his rationale there.
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
I rolled an 18.
If you had also rolled a 1, that would have been pretty great.
That would have been funny.
World did not want you to get this message out.
It's like, absolutely not.
The response you get is...
we're in Jerselheim. We know you're down there. We're trying to find you. Where are you?
The response you get is 20 words or 25 words or whatever it is of the same word repeated over and over again.
Super hot.
because he is raging.
Super.
Okay.
And because he is raging, his intelligence drops very low.
Well,
Kurt is fine, man. Don't worry about him.
so
He's raging right now.
he's not happy, obviously.
Really? I mean, I wouldn't have drawn that from the beaten up part.
Yeah, well, you didn't. Yeah. See, all I got was rah.
To be fair, we've known him pretty happy when he had gotten his ass kicked recently.
Fair enough. So I tried to send a message, but he did not respond. So
When Gotenks hears that, he goes, "That sounds like Trunks, so he does sound like he might be okay."
yeah, he didn't look like he was on death's door, but he did look a little like beat up.
Wonder if he's... Well, that'd be weird. What if he's fighting somewhere?
Well,
Why would he be chained up if he was fighting somewhere?
Well, there's...
Because are you familiar with the concept of prisoners or slaves fighting in a gladiatorial arena of some sort? Just spitballing.
Okay.
Throwing that out there as a concept.
Hadn't thought of that. Okay.
Especially if it's somebody with existing pit fighting experience.
He has to go. He has to maintain his title.
Yeah. So anyway, well, my takeaway from all this is bummer. He's captured. That's no good. I hope we can find and get him out. But I think the most important information is, I mean, if your forward scouting party is captured and not dead, and that's the reason why they didn't come back, that lends more and more credence to there's some kind of civilization down there. There has to be people who will capture down there.
Someone sort of nods.
So that's kind of got to be it, right? And we're going to have to take a look.
I suppose, yeah.
I mean, I'm worried about this blue crystal tunnel as some kind of deterrent or some kind of like trap that is keeping people from getting in there without being like heavily weakened or something like that. But perhaps we can subvert that in some fashion.
Yeah, because when Sai interacted with it, it pushed him hard. So
it also sounds like this stuff is more dense or more compact, which means the same reaction might be amplified. So you should be cautious.
Yeah, well, yeah. Fair.
So there's a lot of danger here for sure.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what we're going to do here.
Do you have any master, I guess, geometrist, or somebody who knows crystals and gems very well?
Sylvia sort of speaks up and goes, "Well, the only person who would know magical crystals of any kind would be Hamish. He's the one who discovered the last reality-bending crystals."
That is true. He could probably experiment with your crystals and maybe make something happen.
Yeah, we were going to pay him a visit anyway.
Make some kind of cool counteracting helmet.
He's here, actually, in the Bastion, if you want to go and speak with him. She kind of raises a hand and goes, we don't want to ask you to do this, but you're the best we know, and you're the best we have. So if you wouldn't mind finding out what is causing this disaster.
Yeah, well, if it helps, our friend is also down there, so we would have done it anyway, probably.
It's also not uncommon for us to find our way. Like, we have such wide-ranging general goals that any unusual or dangerous-looking undertaking has a habit of being involved in it somehow.
Fair enough.
So
you'll also be.
This will all be involved. We'll run into somebody that we've been looking for anyway.
You'll also be handsomely rewarded.
We have, we're a magnet for these jackasses.
Well, now you'll have a new saga for the comic books.
Yeah, take notes.
You now see Winters get very uncomfortable when you bring up the comic books.
I would like to use my divine insight to know what he's thinking about.
What is divine insight?
I get to read the surface level thoughts.
Okay, the surface level thoughts you get from him are, I'm going to text it to you.
Let me double check the specific wording on it, just so that way I'm not fucking it up. Read thoughts. I can choose to channel divinity to choose one creature you can see within 60 feet. They must make a wisdom saving throw. On a success, on a failure, I read its surface thoughts for 1 minute, and I can cast suggestion if I'd like to.
Good to know. Okay, I'm going to text what you get.
Okay.
So, while that's going on, I want to ring the boss lady and ask her if she knows about.
I just made a joke only at Heather. I apologize. Did the first message that got sent to Heather just say, "Look at this graph" in all caps? Yes, it did.
Attaboy.
That's his surface level thoughts at all times.
Yep.
Same, TBH.
Sorry, that was
graph. Every time I do it, makes me graph.
No. It's the graph. Anyway.
A minute's a long time.
Good to know. All right. I'll hang on to that.
Okay.
All right.
Sylvia sort of nods and goes, "Yes, we will certainly have your exploits put into book form if you guys would enjoy. You know, again, some of the profits are put aside for you. Gotenks did say that you wanted to use yours specifically in a scholarship-y sort of way, which we greatly appreciate here in the city. So,
yes, and also for the people who will be coming from the monastery to help give them, shelter, food.
Yes, of course. Yes, we've already begun the process of rehousing them and reaching out and contacting them and getting them through the portal.
Yeah, that first.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, cool. I'm trying to say it. Oh yeah. What's the person's name? Who the pen name of the writers?
R.L. Page.
R.L. Page. That's it. Oh yes, and we also wanted to try to talk to R.L. Page about that. The writer.
There is a silence, followed by Gotenks kind of coughing and going, "Forgot I said that."
And
what's the deal with this whole thing?
And I'm looking directly at Winters, just kind of like giving him a.
He has gone stone-faced. Those of you with any amount of social tact within the group can immediately read this as
somewhere else.
Yep. Can immediately read this as his brain has given up and just sort of stopped and defaulted to statue kids, essentially. If you don't look at him, he's not there. Gotenks sort of speaks up and goes, "We can certainly set you up with a meeting with R.L. Page at any time. I will reach out to him while you're meeting with Haymitch, and we can have him brought to the building. Isn't that right, everybody?" And the council sort of lightly nods in agreement. Winters does not move.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Fantastic.
I'm just like enjoying the hell out of this.
Nix, you had a hand up. What's up?
Oh, I'm just letting him suffer. It's fine.
Oh. One of the guards sort of walks up to the other end of the room. He goes, "I can lead you to the chamber where Headmaster Haymitch is holed up if you'd all like to see him now."
Okay.
Great. Yes, thank you.
He kind of opens up one of the doors. The council goes to begin discussing with each other. Sylvan excuses himself and leaves the room.
Okay.
As you're leaving, Phaedra, Winters has not moved. He is just staring at a back wall.
I'm typing something to you, so
okay.
Yeah.
The guard kind of takes you through some of the corridors. Again, it's the Emerald Bastion is an interesting building. Just because the outside is radiant and glowing, the inside is still bright and well lit, but it's not overwhelmingly glittery or shiny. There seems to be some sort of magic placed within the walls to kind of dull the crystal a bit, just enough to give it an edge and to give it just a little bit of shadow, so it's not just like this sort of omnipresent glowing structure at all times on the inside. You're brought through a couple of different hallways before you're led into what looks like a converted mess hall. You notice some long tables kind of shoved to each end of the wall, besides one that has been still set up in the large area of the room. And you can see on the far end of the room a spry dwarven gentleman, very thin for a dwarf, lanky, white hair just everywhere, goggles on, seems to have his head facing into a table, just tinkering with something.
I want to look exactly like him.
Okay, good to know, Heather. We'll resolve that later. What'd you say there, Armel?
I just want to look exactly like this dude right now.
Like, we're laughing because I don't think they know that you have that ability now.
Oh yeah.
No, we know.
I know.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Wait a minute. Did you get disguise stealth?
It's
Alter
part
self.
of his alter self is part of his, shape-shifting abilities.
Okay. You do that.
I don't want to act like anything is different, though. I just want to be like hanging out in the back of the crew.
Oh no, this sounds very, very Armel.
I love this.
Yeah, I mean, this
Okay.
right, that's not even a question.
You
Love it.
do so. You hang out in the back of the group as you all make your way over. Hamish
wanna, like-
seems to have just...
I want to like tap Nix on the shoulder and be like, check out my hair.
And Nix goes,
Oh, it's okay.
That scream is what actually makes Hamish look up and go, "Huh, there's people here." He looks up and looks at you and sees that that Nix is looking at a version of him, and then looks down at himself, and then looks at you, Artemil, and goes, "I've done it, haven't I?
Yeah.
I've gone fully crazy.
No.
Oh, what's happened? Oh God."
Yeah.
Oh,
you-
God.
Armel.
And he sits down on the tile and puts his head in his hands and goes, "Oh, damn it! You knew this day was coming. You
All right,
knew
I'm
you were gonna
gonna
get here.
poof back.
Oh,
I'm gonna
God.
poof back.
Okay. Oh God, the other doppelganger of me has turned into an elf.
It's
Oh,
just-
it's really
It's just magic. It's just magic.
magic.
Cool.
Magic
Cool.
is something I
Cool.
do. Magic is something. Oh, I know all of you. Oh, I know all of you.
Hi.
You don't know me. Hi.
Yes, you're new. Nice to meet you. What the fuck is the rest of you doing here?
I
Long
learned some
story.
cool tricks while I was gone.
that's why you're here.
Came
I wanted to show you.
to do a couple of things, including say hi and to see you.
Yes, well, it's very nice to see all of you. You're taking good care of my glasses. And he looks at Trev.
They've served me very well, thank you.
And they're
Good,
very
good.
stylish.
Oh,
There's
yes.
also that.
He sort of pushes up his goggles, and you can see now that he wears a similar pair underneath his goggles. He goes, "Yes, well, it's the style of these parts. It gets really the ladies interested in you."
Word.
Oh boy. Marleman audibly collar pulls.
That's a loud pull, jeez.
you hear out of the back corner next to Arabelle.
Oh, I thought you meant you just hear rip.
Oh no! I mean the
I knew
the
exactly
noise.
the noise you meant.
Yeah.
Now I just kind of look at it. I'm trying not to laugh. I'm just like, yep.
So, now that you've all found my wonderful new shop here in the bottom of the Emerald Bastion, it's a glorious place, and I helped actually build it not too long ago. Well, by not too long ago, I mean almost 300 years ago. I don't think that was me, actually. I think it was my grandfather. It's all starting together. I think I really am losing my mind. How can I help
slow
you?
down, fella. Ooh, slow down there, boy. Ooh.
Okay.
I think I just killed him.
Aramil, you gotta light this dude up or something because he
No.
needs to slow down.
That seems like the
Right.
last thing we want to do.
Do you want? Would it make you feel better if I looked exactly like you again?
No.
All right.
Although it would be the only sane conversation I've ever had anymore. Regardless of all these things, last time I saw all of you, you were dealing with some crystal problems, correct?
That is correct.
Well, I should say you were dealing with my crystal problems since I had found those wonderful things.
To talk to you about those a
Yes,
little bit.
I figured as much. And he kind of like puts his arms out on the table like this and goes, I am ready to face my judgment. I know what I've done, and I always figured that the executioner would come and find me one day for this, so just make it quick.
Huh?
I put my hand on his shoulder and say, relax, friend. Nobody's going to hurt you.
Bro, you need to cool it. Yeah.
Stands up, straightens up, and goes, okay. Today I don't get to see Cord. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
So, explain to us why you thought we would be here to harm you over these things.
And he sort of looks at the rest of the group, and then looks at you, Sai, and goes, well, you're new here, so I'll kind of bring you up to speed.
I was going to say, I think we all look at Sai like, bro.
I meant more why we would blame you.
He sort of looks at the rest of the group again, looks at you, and goes, well, you're new here, so I'll explain.
Okay.
Last time your friends were here, they kind of had to deal with some giant hulking zombie meat monsters from technology I created by pulling gems out of a different reality.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yes. And I assume that you all had interacted with him following that.
Yeah, we dragged him out of a weird, like, corpse tunnel, if I recall properly.
I do believe we did, yeah.
You did do that.
Yeah, we did.
After I did, like, the coolest shit we've ever done, in my opinion, with that fucking... with our combo portal sword bullshit. That was rad.
Yeah, that
Oh, yeah.
When you guys put cool magic... Oh, that was awesome.
That was cool.
But
I don't think
again,
the comic book ever got that part. Did it? Did it? I actually wonder.
I'm going to have a word with the author.
anyways.
Speaking of which, before we finish up this, Marleman, you're also on a journey to go find this author, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I absolutely am.
Okay, just want to make sure you remember that.
Wait. This is the author? No.
Did you miss the scene before this?
Yes, I was trying to deal with something.
Okay, good. We'll deal with that later.
Don't worry.
He's sort of
fitting. That's fitting that Marleman would not have noticed the social cues.
true. That is true. That is very
all right,
true.
fine. Fuck me, I guess. Cool.
Don't worry, I'll bring you up to speed
Not your day, bro.
when it's most appropriate.
He sort of goes, well,
My day, and I'm really not appreciating any of it.
Is that
Like,
in character, or is
it.
that more? Or is that more?
That is Morgan Rass
Oh.
being very upset about how I am being treated tonight.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Don't worry.
It's
I promise
it's
it'll be
a
good.
shoot.
Yeah, this has become a shoot.
This is for shoot.
He sort of looks all of you and goes, well, they did interview me. He does slip up and say he first before changing to they. They did do the interview for me to kind of get the book in total. I believe the books had your cool portal in it.
Oh yeah, we still haven't read through the whole thing. I'm gonna do that when we have some free moment.
Yes, I won't lie to all of you. You seem like capable and fun people. But I was always kind of certain the next time I saw you would be because you finally decided that, this was all Hamish's fault. Time to send him to meet his maker.
Oh, come on, man. There were so many moving pieces involved in all that stuff. You think that we would blame you? Let's be real.
Yes.
I mean,
we
didn't.
won't.
So there you go.
I appreciate
Anyway, we need your help.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna like pull Sai over here. This is Sai. I don't remember if he ever told you his name.
Yo.
He makes things. He's a craftsman, kind of like you. And he has, in our journeys, we found this material that we'd like it if you could take a look at, because we think it's involved with, or at least related to, something that we're going to be, delving into.
Sure, I can take a look.
And I nudge my boy.
Yeah. So I pull out a bunch of the shit a bunch of the gems in varying sizes, and I think the one item that I kind of made with it.
The arrowheads?
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately upon you removing these blue gems from your bag, he immediately recoils. It's like, oh god, no! I said I was done with this shit. I can't.
Oh, Is this like the stuff that you made the crazy animating cores out of?
I mean, it looks, and he does like a little bit of a lean in to look at it, not like he's trying to stay back, but not. He's trying to hide the fact that he is intensely curious as to what you've brought him.
Curiosity has snared the cat.
Exactly. He sort of like leans in a bit and goes, "Well, I mean, it's not exactly the same. It kind of looks similar. It looks younger in a weird way."
That's a good word for it. I always got the sense that this stuff was more than just stone.
And you can tell because the blue is wrong. The blue is much lighter here than it was in the other gems.
Where exactly did you harvest the other gems from?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Please,
Okay.
you can trust us.
We are. I don't know if you've heard about what's been going on in the city lately.
Yes, I've been brought up to speed with that.
Mhm.
It's much more that, well, he sort of does like a quick peek look around and goes, "Just don't tell anyone, please. I'm fairly certain that if anyone upstairs caught wind of what this was, or is, they'd be very unhappy."
Okay.
And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out what looks like a very small domino. It's a rectangular piece of wood that he sort of goes, "This never happened. And I don't still have this." And he sort of almost pokes it into nothing and then drags it across. And you can see now this seam open up in the air and begin to expand just enough where you can see now this rich cavern of blue crystal that he sort of gestures at and goes, "There you go."
Okay.
Where is that?
This, he kind of gestures at it, is the realm of Arcana.
Okay, hang on a minute. Hang on. Is this, like, and I'm pointing to the crystal, is it like concentrated magic?
Yep, that is exactly what it is.
Huh.
That explains a lot.
You're telling me.
Mm-hmm. Does this stuff give off like a I don't know much about the worms, but they're after gems. Would magical gems give off like a better scent than regular gems?
It's possible. I don't really know the anatomy of a purple worm.
I would imagine that they radiate some sort of magical energy.
Oh, definitely.
That those worms pick up, not necessarily a scent, but I imagine that is the scent.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is
I suppose you could try to figure out what kind of magical energy it is.
So this is another plane then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So if you're
plane realm is basically.
So if you're able to just like rip open portals to this place, how many other people around here are doing similar things?
I thought it was only me. This was my great breakthrough within my research that I then destroyed, and by that I meant kept the one and then burned the notes.
Could anyone else have found it? Like, could anyone else have found your research or come across your notes before?
I like to think that Oban is smart as old Hamish, but you never really know.
It's just that the description or this thing that we saw is not unlike a description that we were given of somebody who went on an expedition down into the deepest mines, and this sounds a little bit like what they saw. So there's something strange going on here.
How?
If you say that's a different realm or a different plane, then there might be some sort of that very deep mines.
Yeah, do you happen to experiment elsewhere that maybe an experiment went wrong that you aren't telling us about?
I mean, experiments go wrong every day.
All right, guys. Like, listen, like, let's be real with us. Did you break something somewhere? Because if you did, tell us now.
The last time that I broke something to this such extreme, it was because I created clockwork golems out of it.
I'm sorry, you were lagging like hell right there. I didn't hear a word you just said. This is part of the problem as of why I'm missing things, and I'm a little upset. Morgan is upset about missing things.
Gotcha.
Sorry, go ahead.
He goes, it's the last time I really had a grand fuck up on that scale. It nearly was used by a serpent cult to drag a serpent god into this world. So I've tried to keep that sort of experimentation on the low.
That sounds familiar.
Not like stopping it, of course.
Was anyone else working with you? Did they capture anyone else?
I mean, Petunia was aware of my research at the time, but that was
okay. Well, Petunia's been away, so it couldn't have been her.
Could it have been?
She's been away for months.
How sure are we that Petunia's Petunia?
I mean, I can.
My favorite part is that's actually a fair question.
Well, I mean, I've been sending messages to her, so theoretically, I've been in contact with the correct one, right?
Hamish kind of raises a hand and goes, "Are you telling me Petunia left?"
Yes.
Yeah, Petunia's been away. She was at the monastery, and she should be back sometime today or tomorrow.
That is concerning.
I like that pause.
Nailed it.
Okay.
That is tremendously concerning on my end.
Is there a Petunia here with you?
I mean, I haven't seen her in a few weeks.
But
where was the last time, or where was the last place you saw her? What was she up to?
She was here. She was in the Bastion. We were working on a new version of the Helm of Far Seeing that I've been working on for a long time. She said she was going to take some of the samples back to her store because she had to open up the store in the morning, and then I haven't seen her since.
I think we should go.
We never checked the room.
Let's go check the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you see her,
there's got to be some sort of Petunia there. So
if you see her and she's not with a monk from the monastery, that's probably the fake one. If there's a fake one.
Staller.
Should we just be leaving this dude alone? Like, if there's a potential doppelganger situation here?
I think we should take him with us.
Yeah, bring him with us.
Or just tell him to not trust any Petunias for the time being until we.
Yeah, don't open the door for no one.
Guys.
Yeah, can you seal this room?
I could turn into him and just be about town, and then it'll be awesome.
I mean,
that doesn't solve any. Good point, Armel. Good point.
That's making that slightly more complicated.
Yeah.
But if there's 2 Petunias and 2 Hamiches, then the world is fine, right?
No.
I want that on a T-shirt.
I mean, like, are you the evil one? Because in the Petunia case, one of them is evil.
Mustache,
yeah, I mean, if we get into a fight, we should probably be,
together.
I can't wait for this to end on a fucking rooftop. It's like, no, shoot that Petunia. I'm the real one.
Oh my god. So dumb.
Why are you mad at Marleman?
You have to decide, Marleman.
No, that would be
This is
that would be
fucking
too
not
easy.
okay.
That would be too easy because I would say one of you come to me, and then the one that did, I'd shoot. It's easy. Let's be real, everyone.
Hey, spoilers. We're gonna get to this later.
Okay.
Who's reading ahead in the script? I told you guys to only open for March 7th.
Mental reminder.
Right.
Let Marleman get a gun.
Oh, yeah. So do we want to bring the guy, or do we want him to just?
I mean, we're also not done with this guy. Like, I have more questions.
Yes, but
So,
how far is it to Petunia's shop from here?
It's up on the second ring.
Yeah. Can you walk and talk with those? Because there's a lot going on here.
I mean, there's a lot of information I would like to not share outside this room.
That's fair.
can we do, like, is there a spell that we can use to give us a mobile cover of, like...
Here, why don't you send one of us that has message or sending to go, or who has message,
Did we split the party?
Yeah, split the party.
I don't want to at all.
I don't either. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
If it's just an investigation, like, I mean, well,
I'm not convinced that it is. It might be, but what if? I mean, the concept of there being a fake version of somebody we know could lead to so much danger.
Oh,
hey, is there a spell that you can cast that you can, like, your magic eye? Can't you do that? I thought you had.
My arcane eye.
Yeah.
You do that for an hour.
Well, okay. So why don't you cast that shit in here, and then we'll go for.
It doesn't stay in a specific location. It follows me within 30 feet.
Oh, I thought it was a thing that you could, like, on the other side of a door, you could drop it. And
no, but I can try and send a message to Petunia to find out where she is right now. Because I would like, if she's not quite here yet, if we suddenly run into her,
it would make sense.
Yeah. Like, I can just,
I suppose you could do the recon. It won't hurt.
Yeah, like, I won't. Should I let her know, or should I just, like, be like, "Hey, just checking in. How far are you?" That kind of thing.
I would ask.
Nothing to be afraid of. Everything is fine.
I would ask, "Have you arrived yet?" Like,
okay,
that sort of diction. Like,
cool.
Definitely not like a I'm trying to let anything on, but more of like a, "Hey, where you been?"
Okay.
Are you here yet?
Yeah. So, I will message Petunia then.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, "Hey, Petunia, just wondering if you made it to Jerselheim yet. Whereabouts are you? We're still sort of around the city."
You receive back. Just entered the city. Kaluna on the way to Bastion with Voluminata. I'm heading for my shop.
Okay, we need to go right now because she's heading for her shop, and Kaluna's got the Voluminata, and she's heading for the Bastion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. we should go.
Do we take this dude with us?
How long do you think we'll be gone for?
Yeah, Gary. Approximately, how long do you think it'll take us to travel from point A to point B?
Maybe
because you do the maps.
Maybe 45 minutes to get up the elevator and over to her shop. So then about an hour and a half total to get back here.
Is Petunia gonna meet? Is Petunia gonna get there before us?
Should I tell her to meet? Should I tell her to meet us somewhere so that way she doesn't run into?
Tell her don't meet at shop yet.
Urgent, we meet her somewhere.
Okay.
Is there like a pub or something?
I'm going to assume, by the way, that you guys are walking and talking this one.
Yes.
So you're already leaving the Bastion and on the way.
Yes, we have like actual urgency.
I'm just gonna assume we've taken Hamish with us.
Hamish goes, "Oh, okay. I guess I haven't left the Bastion in a while. This is great.
You'll be fine."
Oh boy.
He's like running. He's like trotting behind all of you, trying to keep up.
I'm sticking very close to him.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Where should I tell her to meet us? So that way she's not heading to the shop.
What about the bar?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't there the pub?
How close
that's
is
like,
the bar to the shop?
It's on the same level.
I was gonna say, I thought that was
Perfect.
the case. So.
Okay. So what's the name of the bar again? I've
The Rusky Casket.
Yeah.
Okay.
O'Hoolahans.
Okay. Actually, Petunia, it's urgent. Please meet us at the Rusty Casket right now.
That is not the level of
urgent.
Okay.
Right
I said urgent.
I guess it's urgent. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, we need to talk to you right now. Meet us at the Rusty Casket.
Okay. You receive back. Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So,
Great.
just for clarification's sake, are we heading to the shop first?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we should head to the shop.
I agree.
In that case, I would message Jesket and tell him we need him to keep her there and buy us some time.
That too.
Okay.
How many more messages can you send?
Listen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if I burn higher level slots. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Well, let's.
Bro, if you need me to do it, I have it as a cantrip. Like,
you
do that.
That's still fine.
I have message as a cantrip.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's
whatever.
But that's only within 120 feet. That's the thing.
Okay, then I'll just send the message to Jesket saying, Petunia is heading to the bar. Please keep her there.
We have our reasons. We don't need to go that far.
Have our reasons.
He trusts. I feel like he trusts us.
I think you could even tell him to tell her that we told him to do this. Like,
yeah,
that would make sense.
Okay.
I will assume you just add that on.
Yeah.
You receive back. We'll keep her in the basement chamber. Let me know what's happening. The city is already on lockdown.
Oh.
Okay. He said the city's already on lockdown. Were we aware of this already?
I will add this. Lockdown from the worm attack.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Never mind then. Cool. Thanks.
So what he is trying to convey is that there aren't that many people on the streets right now anyway.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Meanwhile, you guys are running out of the bastion and over to the towards the elevator. As you're going, you pass some of the guards. We're like, that's what's going on. Well, Hamish is with them. That's weird. You pass Brahm, who is walking out of the council chambers as you guys go through, and he's like, "Hello, welcome." Oh, okay, bye. Briefly glancing into the chambers, you could see that the one and only Lord Dirk Winters has not moved still. He's still just sort of sitting in his chair.
Oh my god.
And
is that the person that y'all were trying to get me to look at, the writer? Is this the Dirk guy? See, this is so you got to understand. Morgan was upset.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it was that.
And nobody filled me in on it still. Nobody has filled me in on it.
I would figured we'd get to it.
Yeah, Gary said he would catch you up.
Yep.
I also didn't hear that either because the connection here is shit. So fuck it, whatever.
Okay.
I basically said I'd catch you up later once we gotta get through this stuff. You guys make your way to the elevator. There's an operator already there, sort of waiting for you. They kind of jauntily wave you, walk past, like, "Hey, problem solvers, how's it going?"
Good. We need to head down to the second ring. Can we?
Oh, yeah. Sure. That's fine. He sort of pulls a lever and the elevator begins moving, and so begins the slowest and longest elevator ride of any of your lives.
Can you go any faster?
I mean, unfortunately not. We kind of move at a fixed speed from ring to ring.
Do we hear terrible elevator music?
We have made multiple jokes about these elevators having music in them. I haven't figured out a way for that to happen, but I'm trying. I promise, guys. Like I might just end up having be like, yes, there's a fiddle player that just sits on the elevator all day.
I'm into that idea so fucking much.
The guard is like contractually obligated to like hum a tune.
Yeah, play a harp as they go. You guys relatively slowly make your way to the second ring. The streets in the Mercantile District are relatively empty. There's a few families here and there. You see some guards marching up and down, but most of the booths and stalls have been completely closed and shuttered for the day. As you step off, the operator's like, "Okay, have a good one."
Thank you.
And you see him sort of pull a lever and begin to go back.
Is this one of those things where we should tip the guy?
I don't know.
No, got stuff to do.
Okay, go.
You see him pull a lever and start heading back down towards the sixth ring. As you all kind of boogie through the streets towards the Ruby Rose. You guys make your way there very quickly. You've been to the shop before. It looks basically how you left it. The big stone door has been pulled closed. You can see that the upstairs window has been opened, and it is open, much like the first time you guys arrived. Petunia blasted an eagle version of Armil out of the sky with a magic missile.
Yeah.
Good times, good memories.
I'm about to fly up there again just for old time's sake.
But for the rest of it, the street is empty and the building is closed.
Okay.
Is the door locked?
The door is locked.
Detect magic on the door, please.
The door is magicked.
What type?
With a evocation spell.
Trap Queen.
Huh. I might have to do something.
Trap
about that.
Queen.
Okay.
So, I think I have the ability to do something about that. Let's find out.
Dispel magic?
I have that. I believe I haven't
I have
used
that
it
on a
today yet.
scroll if anybody doesn't want to use a spell slot.
I do not have dispel magic. So.
I prefer us to use the spell slot and save the scroll for emergencies.
Probably a good
Yeah,
idea.
I can do it
That's
once
why
a day.
I still
anyway.
have it. I think I've had it since like season 2.
Yeah.
It's always the fear
Yeah.
of those RPGs. You buy all those items and you never use any of them.
Yeah, I always have fucking 4 somas left over at the last battle in Persona. I would like to use Dispel Magic on this door.
Okay, the magic is dispelled on this door.
Sick.
Is it trapped also?
It was magically trapped. It is still locked.
Okay. Nix?
Hey, Nix, I'm pretty sure this door is not like... It's definitely... Or, whatever magic was on it is demagicked. I don't know if it's completely safe to pick.
I can mage hand pick it.
Okay.
Okay, you guys.
I have at least a little distance.
Okay, I respect that.
I got you.
I am trapped by a 50-pound dog.
What do you need?
Can you help me?
Oh no, Pearl.
Need a d20 of some kind to
Yes,
be
you
rolled.
did. Yes.
Maybe on her behalf.
I
It's hard to
can't sit up very well.
Oh, what a good
Oh,
girl, though.
Pearl.
She's such a good girl.
What a good loser.
Hey, that's mean.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Oh, you will.
Oh, you're a good dog.
Sorry, Pearl.
Even if you were 100% correct, it would still be me.
Pearlie's a good dog.
That is 100% correct.
All these things can be true.
And that was 27.
That door is super unlocked. That door can never be locked again.
Wait, I feel like if she picked it with finesse, she wouldn't break the damn...
Oh no, the lock does not break. It's just the door will
just
refuse
embarrassed.
to be- Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, we're sorry. We didn't. Oh, sorry about that. We didn't know. We never knew. The door swings open, and you can now see the interior of the store. It has been completely and totally ransacked, and it smells like death in here.
Ew.
Oh, goody. How recently does it look like this happened?
How dead are we talking?
Very dead. It is not the smell of what's the right way to phrase this? It is not the smell of like rot.
It's not the smell of blood. It's okay.
It's the smell of decay.
Okay.
Okay, that's where I was. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There
There is some level of dust to the shattered glass and toppled over bookshelves.
Okay.
There are books scattered about. You can tell that some have been kind of moved side to side by what looks like footsteps or someone passing through this room. A lot of the items that were in the in the glass kind of cases are still there. Hi, Sabrina.
Everybody says hi.
Hello.
A lot of the items are actually still there, relatively untouched.
Okay.
And the kind of curtain to the back room has been completely sundered. And you can tell in that curtain is a fine layer of dried blood as well.
Oh, son of a-
Oh, that.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
okay.
Sure.
I do, but
Detect magic in here.
Yeah.
The room is laced and covered in magic due to the magic items kind of scattered about, but there's no like overwhelming presence of like a
okay.
Alright, so there's no like, you know,
Like
Then-
no man-shaped illusion magic happening here.
exactly. There's no one invisibly standing in the middle of the room going, "Hello."
My next thing was gonna say, can somebody detect traps for me?
Yeah. Deep Overwatch memes.
What was the meme?
Oh, someone in the center of the room is standing there just going,
Oh, yes.
Visible Sombra.
Does someone want to do an investigation check for traps?
Oh, for traps?
I will give advantage to that. Or do
Yeah, somebody. I figured our rogue could do that.
I'm not terribly good at
and
investigating.
I believe that Nyx is the smartest of us. And
Nix
that's
is
what you
the
need
best
for that.
option for this. Yeah,
Yes.
Mhm.
again.
I only have a +2, so
Yeah. So wait, it's for investigation though?
yes.
I mean, my investigation isn't that impressive with you.
Mine might be good.
So what you say hi?
Look at all these cute
That's hi.
animals.
Wisp says hi. He
How
heard,
is-
heard me talking to other people and he got jealous.
Yeah, I only rolled a 10.
Okay.
All right. Then I guess I'll try.
I wanted to give advantage to that anyways.
Oh.
Nope.
That's yes. Someone saying they also want to try is just giving Nyx advantage
Oh, okay. Then
Cool.
because you are assisting. You are helping.
Yeah.
That's a little better. Okay. That is a 17.
Okay. The room is this entrance room. You know, the kind of storefront room is not trapped.
Okay. So we go in.
Okay. You guys kind of carefully step into the shop. Once you cross the door frame, that smell of like death and decay is even thicker.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna look and see if I can find like a body, like the source of the decay.
Okay. You follow the smell as best you can, and kind of peer around the sundered curtain into the back room. And this room is just covered head to toe in blood and gore and ichor. There is a torso-less corpse on the ground. It is just a pair of legs that seems to have exploded.
This is going to be a weird
room.
question, but can we tell the species of the legs?
Yeah.
They are elven.
Okay.
No.
Oh no.
No.
This doesn't make anyone in this room happy, and it definitely doesn't make me happy.
I feel like we should go to the bar.
You're doing the dude right now. You're like, fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. Like you're just.
Can I investigate the corpse, see if there's anything about it that can help me identify?
Sure. The corpse is wearing a or half of, I should say, a set of what was once fine robes. They seem to be inlaid with a certain level of gold filigree and green flower patterns. There's nothing in the corpse's pockets. The corpse is not wearing shoes, and the corpse is male.
Okay.
Okay.
I saved that one for last.
Dick, yeah.
It's not Petunia. But
still,
I don't know how the magic works. I don't know how if someone can assume our identity if sending that way. I don't know. But
what's this leg?
I can't. I can't speak with dead when the speaking half is missing. So.
Yeah, this thing is incommunicable.
Dance to tell me the answer, corpse.
I should say there are, some nooks and crannies in this room that,
I would like to investigate and see what I can find.
Yeah,
sure thing.
In hand, by the way, like, do I sense anything with that?
With what?
My sword.
There is nothing unseelie in this building.
Okay.
All right. Have we explored the entirety of this building? Like,
not the upstairs.
Are we just standing in one room? Because I would like to move into the next.
I'm doing just a quick search while I'm down here.
I'm not standing in that nasty room.
Arnold's standing outside, just with his arms crossed. Like, no, you can't make me.
Like anything.
I mean, if it makes any
gross.
Yeah, like
if it's gonna make anybody feel better, I will just continuously press the digitate better smells.
Yeah, like
we're gonna blast over it like the French with perfume.
You're just fucking Febrezing the room.
Druid, craft some flowers, man.
I got you.
All right, so
let's. Who's checking upstairs with me?
I rolled
I'll go,
19 investigation.
I'm going upstairs.
Okay. There are no large pieces in this room.
No large what?
No larger pieces of body in this room.
Like, no other halves.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is, I should say, a blood trail that leads upstairs.
Okay.
I'm going upstairs.
All right, let's go.
I'm in front just in case.
Okay. You guys head upstairs towards this open window, and immediately the upstairs is much brighter than it was downstairs due to the open window with its curtain drawn. And you can see that this room is relatively immaculate. Has destroyed sort of destruction.
What was that?
Wait, say that again, Gary.
Yeah. The room is relatively immaculate. Nothing has been destroyed. The room has been very well preserved, except on what still is, I guess, technically Petunia's desk, the writing desk that you guys saw her asleep on the first time you came through, is a set of red candles that have been burned down to their stumps, a large book that has been opened up behind them to a certain page, and a male elven head with a 6th candle jammed into the top of the skull.
Cool.
The eyes open and unblinking at the stairs, with its mouth slightly agape.
Yeah, I'm going
to recognize him.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm gonna look at the book.
Do any of us recognize this elf face?
No. It is most certainly not someone you've met in the past, but there is a passing resemblance.
To...
Does it look like any of the council members that we've talked to?
No, certainly not. They've all been dwarven.
Okay.
Does it look like any of us?
Well, I couldn't remember if everybody was.
Like any
if they had their outside people.
Yeah,
It
does
does
it look like
actually look like one of you.
Oh.
Ermil?
Is it Psy?
So I'm half elf.
Oh, you're half? I thought you were full. I'm sorry.
No. It could be either of us. I still have elfin features.
It is Armo, remind me, you have a more auburn hair, correct? More of a
white?
Whiter hair. This elf's
That changed. Yes, auburn, white.
Yeah, more white. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
I meant like a lighter color.
You yes-anded that brilliantly. I love it.
Yes, thank you. But whereas Sai, you have a much darker head of hair, correct? This is very much on the dark side of things with a goatee to match.
Oh. Oh boy.
Just you. Can I detect magic on the head specifically?
There's no magic in the head.
All right. I was worried that it was like some kind of fucking weird arcane eye looking thing with it being jeweled up as it was. Like if it was somebody was seeing through it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the page that the book is open to. What does it say?
It is. You have no idea because it is written in a language I don't believe you read. What are your languages again?
I'm gonna look at it.
My languages are Celestial, Common, Draconic, and Infernal.
It is none of those.
Okay.
Can any of us tell what it is?
You can read it, Trev.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Is it in one of the cool languages that I can speak now?
As of last episode, you can now read this.
All right.
It is in Abyssal.
I would like to read your weird devil book.
Yes, Cat. I love you. Come here.
Congratulations, Marluman. A wild magic surge has had incredibly positive outcome.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't ask me to read fucking whatever the hell else I no longer can.
I believe it's Sylvan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You can't speak anymore.
Yeah. But I just, before I tell you what's in this book, I just want to take you all back to one episode when this was revealed and I rolled those two on that page. I had already built most of this stuff and what these clues would be. So when that happened, I was like, oh, motherfucker, that's one half of this whole thing. They don't have to go through. They don't have to find someone who speaks Abyssal. They don't have to ask around. They just can do it. Oh, it's great.
Elimination Wrath, the human cheat code.
Yes, exactly. Oops, all berries.
It's not a cheat code. It's more of a glitch. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
that's true. You're like Penelope. Adorable.
It is a ritual to connect two realms together via a bridge. In this case, just from what you can kind of glean from what you're reading, it is an attempt to bridge this reality with the abyss.
Oh!
Okay, we've done it before.
Yo, I played this on. Let's go. All right.
Okay.
Well, that seems pretty open and shut.
Uh-huh.
I'm still staring at this head, man. This is creeping me out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy about it.
Is there any reason why it would be or why it would be a thing that looks something like one of us?
I could try casting Speak with Dead, but that seems kind of gross.
I mean, anybody have a better idea?
I don't know how that works with just a head.
I don't know, but
this is a genuine question. I know the answer to it, but this is more.
Do you have
Jay? Jay, how familiar is Sai with the other members of his family?
He, as far as he knows, he has a mother who's dead and a human father who is not.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes, he is dead.
Yes. Last you told me that both his parents are dead.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. No. He, as far as he knows, he has no other family.
Yep.
So, Sai, do you have any connection with this abyss thing?
With the abyss? I mean,
that's such a back-wild question.
I mean, I've pissed off some things from the abyss in my time, but never like.
Well, so that sounds like a connection to the abyss.
No,
Yeah,
impersonal. I'm just the trigger man here. Like
any reason they would target you sounds like exactly what you just said.
Not specifically, not really. Like,
okay. It says the corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. Okay, cool. So it could work.
It cannot speak.
I mean, it doesn't say it requires oxygen.
Its mouth.
It does still have a mouth, I guess.
Yes. Still.
It doesn't have vocal cords, which is a little bit of a complicated thing, but you know.
I mean, it's also dead, so let's disbelief here for a minute.
I don't know.
Dude,
I mean,
speaking a really high voice, its vocal cords would be so short.
That's true.
Do we have any other options?
I'm a terrifying dead man.
I don't know. I think we'll have to ask Android 16 on this one.
Sad.
Hold on, let me find that fucking video.
As you guys are kind of like looking at this skull and just sort of trying to figure out what's going on, you do hear a rustling from downstairs.
Okay.
Which, by the way, that reminds me. Where did you guys leave Hamish?
He's with us.
We've been dragging him with us the entire time.
So you brought him through this gore fest.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
dude,
he
out. Made corpses into fucking. He's been there.
You're right. He did pass out upon seeing the headless torso.
Sure, we'll just carry him then.
I'll carry him.
I just wanted to make sure that was not something.
I assumed. Honestly, Trev would have just assumed that he would not. Like he'd at least be able to handle it because of the work he'd done.
This is a little.
I could be wrong.
This is a little much for just about anybody.
Okay. Should we head downstairs then?
Absolutely. I'm heading down there with my fucking weapon drawn. Are you kidding me?
Okay. Yeah.
I take the head and put it into my bag of holding.
Okay.
Gross.
Bag.
I'll grab the book just in case.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I've been making weird faces outside the whole time. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Listen, man. Like we haven't done worse.
Modified 20.
Okay, you're fine. You pick up the book. You pick up the book. You feel like a mild electrical shock in your hand, but it's like
Okay, throwing that in.
Check this for traps and then
deal with later.
Some problem.
You guys make your way downstairs relatively quickly. You very quickly hear footsteps begin to run away as you all kind of tramp down the stairs.
I would like to run out the door.
Okay. You run out the door, and you see a hooded, robed figure running away back towards the...
How far away?
Maybe 50 feet.
Throwing my sword.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Yeah.
All right. I had something prepped, so I'll wait.
That's fine.
Could I cast Long Strider on Trev quickly?
Sure.
Yeah, just tackle this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you actually want, if that is a thing you can do, I can just chase him down. Though.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
I'd prefer the non-lethal option here, so we can learn a little more.
Yeah, I was just gonna do hold person, but that's
Speak with dead.
yeah. Also
He
fair.
increases by 10, but I don't know. It might help.
I grab Trev by the shoulder and dimension door like 10 feet in front of this person.
That works too.
Okay.
That works way better.
Yeah,
Favorite
Jesus.
spell in
And
the
then I would
game.
like to tackle them, like whatever it
Okay.
is. I'm pretty strong. I'm assuming I can overpower them.
Oh, totally. This person, you can now see that they are no more than maybe 3.5 feet tall.
Huh.
They are running full bore, kind of looking over their shoulder back at the shop. So you don't even really need to tackle them much because they just right into you, into your ever-loving waiting arms.
I was just gonna if they ran into me and fell down, I would probably pretty much just pin down chest with leg and arm and just be like, what were you doing there? I'll start asking, basically start demanding answers right away.
I'm looking around to see if anybody's watching us.
There is no one really out on the street, so you're good with that. They sort of look at you and immediately just begin. What's the right term? Gibbering, I guess, is the right term. In abyssal, just let me go, please let me go. I was just checking something. I was just collecting something for my master. Please just let me go. Just let me go.
Who is your master?
Gresnit. Please let me go.
Where is your master?
The abyss.
Is your master? Is he the one trying to to link the abyss and here?
Yes. Now please let me go.
Where is he trying to do that?
It's the bottom of the mine shafts.
I don't think this next step's going to surprise anybody. I'm going to try to execute this thing.
Okay.
Wait.
What is it?
Could we?
That's a valid question, I guess. What is it? It's not going to change my planned course of action.
No, I
but
just don't is it a person?
You rip off.
You said it was 3.5 feet tall, so it's either a dwarf, a gnome, or a weird demon thing.
You rip this thing's hood off, and you see this.
Also, is there any way that we can get this thing to bring us there?
I mean, we already know where it is. Whatever.
That
if
is
you
what
have any,
do.
If you have any better, I guess Sai is the only one who's here with me. So if he has any better ideas,
you're right.
He's not getting away. Unless you guys are chasing me.
I mean, the idea
yell at him in a language you can't understand at this point. So it's up to you guys what you're doing.
We can kill him, but let's just make sure we get all the information out of him first.
All right, I'm just gonna keep I'm keeping him pinned down right now, and
let's wait for this
guys. Get over here.
I'm assuming at this point we've caught up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all see this small, deformed demon, just sort of sniveling and half snarling in Trev's grasp.
What the hell's that thing?
Some kind of demon. His master, whose name I've already forgotten, is the one who is way to go.
I wrote
You're
it
better
down.
listener than me. His master is the one who's trying to connect the abyss to here.
Oh!
And it is happening at the bottom of the well. I know all I need to know, but if you want to ask him any more questions before I kill him, you're welcome to.
Are there any other agents of whatever his name is, in the city at the time? Grizit. Are there? Let's not say its name.
Is he speaking common now?
Are there any other agents in this area?
That is a valid question.
It is not speaking in common. It is still speaking in abyssal.
But can you understand?
I'll relay whatever fucking questions.
Yeah, I was just gonna jump around that and say.
Oh,
that.
okay. Gotcha.
He. What's the? I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. He doesn't know how to respond. Not in the... He doesn't say no, because he's too dumb to know how to lie. But he genuinely doesn't know if there are any other agents here.
That's fine.
Okay. How... What were you sent here to get?
The book. The book.
What's important about the book?
It's an idol.
Okay. What does the idol do?
It's the book.
From the Hunger Games.
Anything else? At this point, I've drawn my weapon. Anything else?
I'm good with them. How about you guys?
If we kill him, will Grizzledick send a bunch of other stuff?
Has he been
I
here?
don't know, but if we send him, if he goes back and the Rizzik knows that we know this, that can't be good.
Yeah, all
Can
right.
your master see through you right now and know what you're saying, doing, and hearing?
He just shakes his head viciously now.
Has he been here before?
Oh, my master could only dream of being here.
I meant him specifically, like this dude.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know anybody, or have you ever worked with anybody who can impersonate other beings?
Mm-hmm.
Is that you?
Nope.
Is there one impersonating someone right now?
They don't know.
Okay.
I tried.
Fuck it.
Go ahead.
Last chance? Alright, cool. I would like to
Do your
execute
thing.
this fucking thing. I'm done.
Okay, it has about 11 hit points, so you're able to do
Yeah.
that.
He
Um,
smells the sword on it, and it does.
Yeah. And it
Sorry, that was gross, but we gotta...
and it dissolves into ash.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay then. That was eliminated.
Perfect crime.
Slightly.
The perfect crime.
You'd offer the fist bump to Sai. Thanks for the assist.
Anytime.
So he said the book, and I'm holding my bag up. Like was what he was trying to get.
Yeah.
He called it an idol.
We gotta be careful with that thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I touched it, it kind of seemed
That
bad.
tracks.
Yeah. So yeah.
Huh.
We'll keep
Where
this
is this occurring in relation to the bar?
I mean, it's like the opposite side of the ring.
Okay. All right, good.
Okay, so we still don't know where the doppelganger is.
No, but I mean, we do know where the bigger... We know the bigger
We know
picture.
Where we know where the threat is.
Yes.
We know what is going on and where. And now we can make plans.
Yes. Yes. Should we go pick up Petunia?
We should, and we also can
could
check
go-
in with Jasket and potentially go tanks. Like, the bar is a great place for
I
a
think
lot
we
of
should
reasons.
Go to the bar and call it.
Yes, also that.
Also.
Because I am sick and I'd like to go to bed.
Yes.
Before we split up.
I'm sorry, buddy. And I will, once we're done with this, I'll fill you in on everything you missed.
That's fine.
Before we split up, we need a code word to know if one of us becomes a doppelganger, like something.
Cacao.
Split up.
That's okay.
Why are we splitting up?
Well, yeah. Why are we splitting up? First of all,
No. If for whatever reason
Yeah.
We do get split up.
Okay.
Yeah,
We have
split
a code word.
We have
We
a
have a
code
safe word.
already prepped.
Not to embarrass anybody. Oh, no, that wouldn't work because of other reasons. I was gonna say we should use Nyx's fun knife word, but that also would do fun knife things.
Yeah,
Uh,
that could be good.
I'm telling you, man, my Portlandia joke really lands.
It Portlands.
Cacao.
Cow?
I'm sorry. I don't.
It is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm not from. I'm trying to.
Uh,
I feel like
it
I
is-
have something, but it's like
The joke there is that is a safe word that they use in the show. That is the joke,
Okay.
So
and it gets overused. Let's say.
Captain, it was Captain Fondra of
Fondra?
yeah. That was the captain of the guard in the city that was taken over by the dead, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're some of the only people who would actually know who that is.
Yeah.
So she would be a good word to use for that.
So Vondra.
That we have heard from Vondra.
Okay. Cool. That works.
You have heard from Vondra that whole
Yeah,
sentence.
we've heard.
Yeah, Somebody says we've heard from Vondra, and then your response back should be
Or just like what brings you
And
here?
she
I got
ordered
word
Chinese
from
food.
Vondra or
Like,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
All right. Got heard.
I dig it. I like that's some cool cloak and daggery shit.
Yeah,
Into it.
I have
The weather
one-
is cloudy today.
for anyone who has one of the comic books. Is Petunia ever in it?
Oh, that's a good point.
I think I was the last person to leaf through the copy, so I can pull it out and take a look.
I was gonna say, I believe I have a copy. Yes.
Not that
Okay.
issue, no.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to know that for future reference.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
You all make your way towards the bar. You arrive outside the Rusky Casket. There seems to be no one about. You open the door, and you're greeted with a grisly, horrifying scene of an empty bar with no bartender.
Yeah,
And we'll pick it up from there next time.
Hooray!
God damn it.
I like getting your blood going, Morgan. I'm sorry.
And now there's Mole Man.
Yeah.
Are we still recording?
Yes, I'm about to hit the broadcast button.
That is
Good night, everybody.
good.
Bye.
Harmful, man.